I'm Capri. Thank you so much for coming back and sitting in my corner with me. Every week we will sit in my corner and we discuss the things that are on my mind this week or I have seen, right? Okay. I hope you're having a good week this week. If you did have a good week this week, can you drop a comment below and tell me what was good about it? If you didn't have a good week this week, tell me something that you did to at least try to make yourself feel better, because every week isn't going to be the best week. Every day ain't going to be your happiest day and ain't going to be the best day on earth. But at least when you do have days that are just not your favorite days, I hope there's something that you can do to make it just a little bit better, right? Whether that's going to get your favorite ice cream from the store, whether it's going to get your favorite candy bar, whether that is going to watch your favorite show, reading up to your favorite book, going to organize that thing that you've been itching to organize, something in your week that made it better, right? That man or that woman, right? Maybe they made it better. If they were the reason why they were your headache, very, very sorry about that. You got to hopefully it's not anything like any huge red flags, just like minor inconveniences, things of that nature, right? But let's go ahead and jump into it, right? So Angela Simmons made a new song this week. I listened to it. I did listen to it. And I'll say this. Everybody is allowed to make music. Everybody's allowed to make music. Not everybody is going to be great at it they first try. And you know what I mean? Everybody learn for real. And personally, maybe these are how we discovered. Like I remember somebody said before that sometimes what these some of these young rappers need is an acting program, right? Because they really actors, not rappers, right? That's what they need. I think this sound like would do really well in spoken word poetry, but I'm not saying that I ain't heard rappers rap like that I call it abstract rap, right? Like, but even in abstract rapping is what I like to call it is there's a semblance of rhyming in it still. You just got to catch it. That's why I say it's abstract, because it don't always appear to you right when you hear it, right? You like, wait a minute, hold up, and then you catch it. You like, oh, I'm seeing what you putting down. I'm hearing the message in the song, Angela. You looking for someone to run to because you're dealing with some stuff. Angela's telling us we need community again. That's what she's telling us. There's a message in there for somebody, not me though, right? I listened to it. I'm put it down though, right? Right? I see what you did. You got Jadakiss on there. You got Risa. I like her voice. I like everything on it. I just don't think it's for me though. It's for somebody, but not somebody that look like me, right? You know what I mean? That's fine for real. But I really think Angela, you try spoken word, right? Now, some people say this is a recession indicator. I say it just so happens to coincide with the time that everybody ain't at their prime. You know what I mean? That ain't at the, you know what I mean? Cause everybody's struggling for real. So, you know what I mean? So, like, I get it. These celebrities got to get it how to live. They got to get it somehow. They got to get the money. They got to get the money somehow. Because when you that rich, you know what I mean? You paying for things that is outside my tax bracket. So it's a little more expensive. Your mortgage is more expensive than my mortgage, right? Your light bill way more expensive than my light bill, right? So you got to really put your best foot forward when you trying to navigate these recession-y waters. You know what I mean? And I think that we should try spoken word poetry. I think that's what it is. I think, are there rap coaches? Y'all let me know for real. I'm just asking. Don't yell at me. I'm just asking if a rap coach is a thing. Is there somebody that can help you work on your cadence and help you find the beat and stay on the beat, right? You know what I mean? And ebb and flow with the beat. You know what I mean? Or help you with your abstract rapping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is there an abstract rap coach, like a subgenre of rap coaches? I don't know. Somebody figure that out for Miss Simmons, right? Maybe her daddy will know. I don't know. Maybe Jadakiss know. You know what I'm saying? These are all thoughts, you know what I mean? And well wishes to Miss Simmons. Somebody gonna like it. Somebody is, because how many likes you got so far? Let's look. Official Rough Riders. See, the comments are turned off. And you got 1,700 people who like it, and you got no dislikes. So that's great. And you only put it up 1 day ago. Yeah, see, it even says it down here. See, that's what they want. It's spoken word meets hip hop. It's, you heard him. It's spoken word meets hip hop. Okay, on to the next one. On to the next one. Let's talk about Jack Harlow. And his new album, Monica. Now, I was never gonna listen to that album, and I'm still not gonna listen to that album. Right? I'm not. I had no desire to, because I am over handing out invites to the cookout for great value, mediocrity. You know what I'm saying? Public's brand, you know what I mean, of hip hop. I'm quite tired for real. So I had no interest whatsoever. But then it kept getting flooded on my timeline because, as I said, the CIA is always watching, trying to piss everybody off for real, right? So they put it on my timeline, and I seen him at that interview with them white people on that podcast that I have no idea about, right? You don't need to drop the name in the comments for real. So they got on him, and they asked him, and they said like most artists, most pasty brigade artists, when they get a level of success from being a hip-hop artist, they usually move in a different direction. They usually go to like country, try to go pop, do the Post Malone pivot. You see what I'm saying? And like, how are you different from that, Mr. Harlow? And then Mr. Harlow said, I got blacker. He got blacker, and yet I saw no hue to his skin at all. In fact, it got lighter. The second it came out of his mouth, he got pastier. He got paler. The full ghost of the colonizers came out full force when he said that. And I, again, was immediately annoyed that I had watched this clip. But I'm nosy for real, so there we go. And then I was immediately annoyed that I saw my people in the comments saying that we cannot gatekeep hip hop and we have to let them in. And that's the problem. You've let them in. And then they say things like this because you've let them in. Because you let them think that their opinion matters. You let them think that they have a place in it other than being humble and being on their knees saying, thank you for letting me be here. Thank you so much. Please. Don't even look at us when you're in the space. Head down. You see what I'm saying? And so like I said, I was never going to listen to it. And then I go on Threads, and then I see my people yet again. I see them yet again saying things like, he made a neo-soul album. I want you to explain to me how a MB, a male bastard, I want you to explain to me how a uneven, unseasoned person can make a neo-soul album. One, what the fuck is neo-soul? Let's start there. Because as many artists, D'Angelo himself, and many others have told you once, many a times, that there's no such thing as neo-soul. It is black music. It is R&B. It is jazz. It is funk. So therefore, everyone is using terrible language. And I know some of you are going to get in the comments here and say, well, I didn't know that that's how they felt for real. Okay, now you do. So from this point forward, stop. Neo-soul was created to separate artists who were marketable and who were not. It was a dog whistle in the music industry to say, a little too black. That's that nigger music. Yeah. And that's not marketable because it is not appealing to them pasty audiences. It's not appealing to them non-white audiences because it's too identity based. And we're not really here to support that because we don't really think that they're going to make that much money. So that's what we say in our emails. So everyone knows, just push them off to the side. Give them this much or nothing. Right? So that's what neo-soul is. So neo-soul is not a thing. It's just hip-hop. It's just R&B. It's just funk. It's just black music. Right? And a non-black person can never make black music. No matter how much Marvin Gaye they listen to, no matter how much Music Soul Child, no matter how much any of Motown And no matter how much you listen to black music and are influenced by it, you cannot make black music. You can't make soul music. You can attempt to, sure. It's paying homage, but you can't make something because it's not in you. Right? On top of the fact, y'all remember that movie, What's Love Got to Do with It? And y'all remember when Ike's baby mama, first wife, she shot herself in the movie. And then Tina came and she asked Ike why she shoot herself. Ike. That's the same question I got when he named, same tone, not even same tone, anchor tone. Why is the album called Monica? Huh? And it's that type of gaslighting is the reason why I'm not listening to that goddamn album. It's that type of gaslighting is the reason why I'm not listening to no album by that pasty motherfucker. I'm not listening to it. Because you gonna sit here and keep gaslighting me and keep saying these little nitpicks. And then you done paid them bots. And a few of them regular people on that goddamn Thread app and all over the internet, you done pay some of them to sit here and get on here and be like, Jack, no, he's one of us. You don't understand. You don't understand. No, I understand just fine. I understand just fine. It is not, to me, y'all do what you want to do, but I'm closing the doors. Cookout, ain't no more invites coming out. Ain't no more. And not for me. You not finna get it for real. I can tell the difference between homage and admiration and real, like, paying tribute to the culture versus somebody grifting. And that's a grift. That boy been a grift. They just don't know where to place him. They've been trying to find another Mac Miller since Mac Miller left us, right? Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. Right. So since they've been trying to find another Mac Miller since they left, and it ain't worked. It has not worked. Because you cannot buy authenticity. You can't buy it. You can't put it on. What's in you is in you. And what was in Mac Miller, what was in him. His music was good. And you know what I'm saying? They've been trying to find another Eminem. You just not. Because the majority, all of them, I feel confident in that statement. All of them is just cosplaying for real. They don't really mean it for real. It's a phase for them. And Jack just holding on harder than trying to hold on real hard. Because what else I don't think Jack got much else going on in them other genres. Maybe country, but he don't want to go there. I know they told him that maybe you should try country, right? And he said, no, I really want to be in him. It's not working for real. It's not. And I'm not listening to the album. And y'all gonna do what you want to do, but I stop coming in everybody else's comment section saying that, oh, well, that's the reason why like black people always got a gatekeep and y'all always complaining about every little thing. You goddamn right. Because the reason gatekeeping is the reason why hip hop turned into what it has turned into. Or at least mainstream hip hop. Because I do think that like rap and hip hop is still there. You just gotta go looking for it now. You just gotta go searching for it. I'm not saying that every single mainstream rap artist is trash, but I'm saying it's a certain type of rapping that's going on. And it's not the main, and that's from the labels end. The labels are only pushing out a certain type, and the other types are pushed off to the side. Right. Some of them break through. Right now, I'm very obsessed with Baby Keem. I'm so obsessed with Baby Keem right now. Very, very obsessed with that young man. What is my favorite? One of my favorite songs, Highway 95. That's what's Highway to 95. Please let me just yeah. Highway 95, not Highway 295. Highway 95. Currently obsessed with that song. Honestly, I'm obsessed with all of it. Truthfully, all of it. But all I'm saying is that I have no interest anymore. Y'all gonna do what you want to do, but I have no interest in watching white folks grift off the culture. I have no interest in seeing any of it anymore. And I'm not gonna support it anymore. And honestly, now I'm definitely side-eyeing those who handing out invites all willy-nilly. Y'all also on the list too, and you can't come in either. This is my corner, and I can say what the hell I want in my corner, right? So if that's what you want, you respectfully get the fuck on. I don't have time for it, for real. Like Adele likes soul and R&B music and does it in a way that don't feel like a mockery. Sam Smith Or does it in a way that don't feel like mockery? Yeba does it in a way that don't feel like mockery. Right? And they also pay tribute in a non-disrespectful way. It's true admiration, not let me just say what I think the black community want to hear. They want to hear me say I got blacker because I'm down. Yeah, for real. I'm down for real. I'm cool for real. And you're not. Corny as fuck. So I'm truthfully tired. I want them to stop forcing Jack Harlow on us. Please put that boy in country. Put him in pop. Get do what they did to Zac Efron, the first High School Musical. Get somebody else to sing for him. That y'all love to do that for real. The white folks eat it right on up. Send them right on back over there to his side. Please and thank you. I'm tired of you trying to, and y'all calling him the light skin. He is not a light skin, nothing. That's a white man. A white man. Get out of my face. Get away from me with this. Jesus. On to my next subject. Because I tire of this. It bores me. And also his music bores me. None of it is original. I thought that was done. No, I'm not. None of it is original. It just sounds like the Great Value version of what it was supposed to sound like. Like this is what exactly. Remember off of Dreamgirls? Got me a Cadillac. Got me a Cadillac car. Oh, got me a Cadillac. That's, do you see the difference? Jack Harlow is the former. I like the latter. And no matter how much he studies the latter, he will always sound like the former. Alrighty, thank you. Anyway, Netflix has a new show, the age gap show. It's called Age of Attraction. Now, did I watch it? No, because here's the thing. You aren't going to try to convince me to accept pedophilia. For real, right? Like, I'm not going to play with y'all. That's exactly what that show is. Once I found out, I seen one person talk about it. And then they said that the girl on there, and it's black people. The girl on there was 27, and the man on there was 60. Then, unfortunately, after I seen that comment, another video popped up probably a few days later, right? And someone showed a clip of both of them telling each other their ages, right? And the girl, 27-year-old, with a straight face said, "Oh my God, you don't even look 60. You see why I wasn't finna watch that show? Because that's the age gap right there. You see how much they lie? They just lie all willy-nilly and stuff like that because they want to seem like they mature and stuff. Girl, that man had a whole head of gray. The same way that these roots are sprouting through, you can't call this blonde no more. You call this ombre. That's exactly what the fuck his shit looked like. That gray was sprouting through all of that goddamn black that black rinse that he put on his shit, right? That all in that, didn't he have a beard too? I think he did have a beard. They were gray up in that shit too. Y'all is not gonna convince me that y'all are not trying to get pedophilia accepted on a wider scale. So that's the reason why y'all not going the same traditional route that you like to go, and that's an 18-year-old or a 20-something-year-old with like young 20s with something. Y'all picking over the age of 25 to try to accept it for real. And I know exactly why you try to do it, because of them Epstein files. Because of Epstein files. Y'all trying to get everybody to be okay. And the thing is, a lot of y'all already okay with pedophilia. Because, as I said, y'all will defend stuff like that. A 30-year age gap is also inappropriate too. Because, truthfully, what do y'all have in common for real? Truthfully, what do you have in common with someone with a 30-year age gap? And then it's the fact that the man in this 30, first of all, let me be very clear. A young 20-something is not there because she genuinely finds your personality riveting and you're so charismatic. She does not find your saggy balls appealing. She's not down there because she genuinely loves you. She's down there because you have a 401k that is worth $700k. Right? Hopefully, right? But the thing is, and that's why you're there. You're there because you don't want to be reminded that you have saggy balls. You want to take that blue pill and think and pretend that you're 35 again or 25. right? Because that's really where y'all trying to go back to. You want to relive them days. So that's the reason why you came over here trying to talk to this 27-year-old. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care how mature you want to sit and call it. No. Y'all are way too comfortable with pedophilia, and that show need to go it need to go back straight to hell. It need to be canceled. I don't want to see another season of it. If I see another season, that means enough of y'all watched it because you were okay with it. And some things, while it might be interesting or weird to look at, not even interesting, just weird to look at, some shit we shouldn't be okay, and some shit we should just say we don't need a show about that. We don't need to see that side of it. The mainstream don't need to see that shit. And if we are going to talk about that shit, we should talk about it in the light that it should be put in. And that is, this is a form of pedophilia. Because what exactly do you want? You at 60 years old, what do you want with somebody who's 27? She got her life to live. She probably wants kids. Maybe. I'm not saying every woman does, but what does she do? You really finna do it again? And the fact is, like I said, we sit and shame women talking about, oh, if you throw over the age of 35, your egg's old, you this, you that, and the third, you can't do it. The high chances. But really, truthfully, you 60-year-old something, you over age 40, 50, some odd man, your sperm is dried and old and unused to. Fried, and it should be laid to the wayside. It don't need to be used no more either. And since that's how y'all sit and talk about it, right? Because quiet as it has been kept, any man over the age, I think it was like 45, his sperm has a higher chance of producing children who have certain diseases, disabilities, not diseases, I apologize, but certain disabilities, or what we view as disabilities. Higher risk for autism, higher risk for, cerebral palsy, things of that nature. So, like, realistically, what do you want with, what are you there for? You are too old to be having children. You should not be having. And is it ages? I just think realistically, you not finna live that much longer. You finna live maybe if you lucky to 100, maybe if you lucky to 80. But I don't know why at 60 years old you'd want to restart. And sure, some of you could sit and say that, like, oh, she might change her mind, or like she might not actually want kids, and that's fine for real too. But I just think maturity wise, it's not a thing for real. I don't want to see the different age gaps. I think that we should stop playing with a slippery slope. That's all I'm gonna say about that. It's a slippery slope. It is a slippery goddamn slope to sit there and play these types of games, especially with the way that folks try to sexualize young kids. And that's what this is. It's just because I watch the age gap, even though right now they're in their 30s and shit like that. Watch, if you get another season, the age gap's gonna be young. You're gonna slowly get to 18, 19-year-old with it, but they're gonna ease you into it probably with an 18-year-old and like a 27-year-old. That's all this is. And don't call me crazy, because you got states that are that have laws about young kids under the age of 14 being able to get married, and they're trying to go back to that. You have your president named all up and through them Epstein files, and y'all gonna try to convince me it's not nothing for real. Y'all know that it's something for real, and that is what this is: coordinated effort to make all the fuck shit that's in them files normal. And they've already normalized it, because, like I said, we don't, as a society, there isn't that much push. We say we don't like pedophiles, but look at the files, and we see all the fuck shit that y'all have said over the years. Pizzagate, all of them things turned out to be very, very much true. And everything remains unknocked over. And I'm not saying, I ain't telling y'all knock anything over for real either. But I also see it just feels like there's a push. There's a significant push, and there's always been a push. But now it just feels like it's way more brazen and in your face. I'm not watching it. I'm not. And Netflix cancel that shit. And anybody that is defending, talking about it's a good show, and they made some points, there they go right there. FBI, arrest them. There they go. Arrest them. Look at their laptop. Look at the laptop. I want to see the files. On their laptop, because What else is next? Doja Cat announces that she has BPD because she was defending Chappell Ronan. Now, why was she defending Chappell Ronan? Because Chappell Ronan was seen out earlier this week at a restaurant, and paparazzi was on her face, and she started recording them saying, so this is this person who won't get, I told to leave me alone, stop recording, and here they're not, and then here's this person who's not, and here's this person who's not, and this person and that person. And then everybody got mad at Chappell Ronan and said what they always say when she get upset about paparazzi. They say, you're a celebrity, that's what we're supposed to do, so why are you getting mad if you didn't want this for real? And personally, I do think paparazzi do too much. I do. I don't know. Like celebrity culture, I do think that these celebrities have a right to have privacy. Like I don't think that just because you were in a movie and everybody loves you and stuff like that, that means that you every aspect of your essence has to be shared. It has to be filmed. No, I do think paparazzi do absolutely too much. And I think that like if I think they do need to back the hell up. I think there should be laws in place. No, you can't be following them people up inside of a goddamn like then you gotta be all the way across the street. Right? You gotta be all the way across the street. Distance. Y'all all up on that girl right there at the damn restaurant. And it's with all paparazzi celebrities. Y'all trying to get this picture real. There needs to be a change. I do agree with Chaperone, and I do think that y'all do too much with them celebrities, and that's the problem with celebrity culture. We do too much. Like it's one thing to appreciate an artist or an actor for the art that they are contributing to the world, but y'all take it too far with trying to be all up in their business for it. They still people. They still human. They not that. They like that's the thing. We make them that interesting when actually they not that interesting. They not that interesting. It's just that they make more money than us, so their drama seem more interesting because they make more money than us. That's it. But they just like everybody else. They just like your neighbor right there across the street. Messy as hell. Toxic. All of them are the same thing. I'm not saying all of them are toxic, but they're human. They're human. So I don't understand what makes their lives that much more interesting than the regular person across the street just because they was in a movie. But I was also going to talk about. So I'm not going to get mad at Chapo every time she checked the paparazzi about being fucking weird. I'm just not. I'm giving y'all. I'm letting y'all know right now when I am at these events. Yeah, please back up because please don't. Oh, she like use your white privilege chaperoning and check these paparazzi because the only time they're gonna listen. Use that white women this. Get them tears going, girl. And I know she really mean it for her. I'm not saying in a sense like the tears is fake, right? But I'm saying use them to your advantage. Whenever y'all get to hollering and hooping, maybe we get some laws changed. Taylor Swift, holler real fast. Use your privilege for something other than I don't know the absolute nothing that she used it for. I'm just saying we could really get some shit changed if all the white women in Hollywood get together and be like, I don't like it. Bet you then. I bet you then. Maybe. Probably not. Because patriarchy. And they want to feel like they have access to, especially the women. So, but don't get off their necks. Don't, because nothing ever changes if you stay silent. So keep your foot and your phone in their face. Make them uncomfortable for real. But I really just want to talk about Doja Cat announcing having the fact that she has BPD and like the fact that she is in therapy with it. And good for her. Good for her. As someone who also struggles with mental health, I definitely understand it for real. I definitely understand like feeling feeling of the ups and the downs and the ebbs and the flows. So I just hope that, like I said, I'm glad that she's in therapy and she looks better. She looks better. I don't know. I know that she was in them chat rooms. I don't know. I'm willing. No, she still got to stay over there. Like she cool, but we she don't owe me nothing. She don't owe me nothing. So we ain't got to talk for real though. You don't owe me nothing. But like I just was you really in them chat rooms? And what was up with the shirt? Was you going through something at the time? But even if you was going through something, girl, what? I just Doja, talk to me. I be trying with you, girl. I be trying. So man, I be trying with her. Like, listen. I've been flirting with Doja for a long time with her music, and I be trying with her, but I've had to quietly separate for a little bit because she was doing some weird shit. And then when she was on that whole "I hate my fans" stuff like that, and you know what I mean. So maybe I'm not saying that's what it was, but I'm glad that she is working on it, and she does look better. So I'm happy for her. But also, as I'm gonna keep saying, Chapo, stay on their necks, and all you celebrities stay on their necks. Start making the paparazzi uncomfortable. It ain't hard. Anyway, next one, Tommy Lee. She was jumped by girls at the Baddies USA reunion. That's what she says. And I really am. I have little interest in Baddies itself, like in the actual fight for real, because she says that a bunch of the girls, different girls, were involved and stuff like that. I have little to do with that, and I just want y'all to let Baddies go for real. It need to go. It needs to go the way of Kmart. It needs to go the way of Sears. It needs to just go, and the male version of Baddies too, because I understand that, and I don't know who. I know Natalie had something to do with bringing it back, but like, who pushed this for real? Was it us millennials that said something about this, or was it just Natalie? Like, did she see one tweet and say, you know what, actually, you're right, for real, we do need to bring it back for real? Like, who? I don't know who was responsible for saying that we need to bring Baddies back, but this is not the Bad Girls Club that I grew up with. It is, but it's worse. It's worse because to me, it is worse because it just seemed like unhinged violence. It seems like y'all get them girls belligerently drunk. It don't seem like y'all be feeding the girls no fiber in them girls' diet. I don't even know if y'all be giving them girls water. I think y'all just giving them straight liquor. I think y'all be giving them straight liquor and sending them out there and telling them, like, you know, how to amp it up, to ramp it up, what the plot gonna be, and what should happen. But because you ramped them up with all that liquor and no food, no broccoli, no protein, no salmon, no steak, no chicken. You didn't even give them no ramen noodles. Not even top ramen. You ain't got to get the manchakuchen or whatever the hell that one is called. You didn't have to get that one. You could have got them top ramen. You don't even give them top ramen. No beef flavor, no shrimp. You just send them girls out there with a shot of Hennessy and say this what should happen, and then be shocked when she done headbutted somebody. I'd headbutt somebody too because I'm being pitted, and also that's why I don't like either. It's the grift. It's the exploitation of it all, because all them girls is getting on that show to act a fool because they're trying to get some money for real. They're trying to elevate their lives. They're trying to attempt to do better for their kids, or they're trying to get themselves famous, and they feel like this is what they need to do. And we got to stop with them type of shows. Them type of shows got to go the way. They got to go the way of Toys R Us. Did Toys R Us come back? Either way, go the way of who else gone? Radio Shack. They need to go the way of Radio Shack. Let it go for real. Because this is not something that, like, I first of all, I'm not paying for Zeus. I have never paid for Zeus. I shan't be paying for Zeus. But the fact that, like, this is what the young kids have to watch, I don't know. I don't mind a little bit of ratchet television. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to sit here and say that we can't have a little bit of ratchetness, but Zeus and Baddies takes it to the next level. And I'm not finna sit here and say that this is like a demolishing fact to the black community, because let me be very real, even if this was not on TV, they would still feel how they feel about the black community. No amount of showing black folks on TV in positive lights is gonna make these people or white supremacy not continue to push out the propaganda against black people. It's just not. Because that's just the whole design. So I'm not on the train with them people who be like, oh my God, with Baddies and all this sort of stuff is just a detriment to the black community. It's a detriment because we're being exploited. Like, to perform negatives, to perform, right? And it's because the people who are trying to get on the show, again, are trying to get some money and get a chance and get on, right? And the people who are producing it know that if you dangle money in front of people's faces, and like I said, they're not even getting what Natalie and the rest of them getting. They not, but they're getting more than what they got, right? So if you dangle a little bit of money in somebody's face, you can see what they will do for some money for real. And also in them environments, it don't breed nothing but chaos for real. Don't breed nothing but violence for real. It's not a good environment, and I don't think that those shows should exist anymore. I don't, because like I said, y'all got these young girls watching it. Y'all got these kids watching it, and they think this is real life. And yeah, sure, someone go sit and say it's on the parents to sit and police what their kids watch. It should be for real. But also, there's just, again, just because things can be on TV doesn't mean they should be on TV. Adults don't even need to watch it. You don't. Now, I know for a simple fact, for me personally, and this is my anecdotal evidence. Every time I watch Bad Girls Club, I went to school the next day and I acted ass. Not saying I got in a fight, but I will say that, like, I was more aggressive. I was way more with my teachers. I didn't care. Way more, like with my friends. Which so, and I know as an adult, sometimes just like how when you listen to certain music, it can change your feelings and your emotional state. Same thing with the shit that you watch. You watch something that is that aggressive all the time. What do you think is doing to you? What do you think? What are you ingesting? What is the energy that you're leaving with after you turn that off? And if you don't think that, I don't know, monitor yourself after you watch one of them shows, right? See if after watching the episodes of Baddie, you don't feel a little bit, ooh, ooh, what'd you say to me? I think there should be a line. I think there should be a line. But I also do think, yeah, parents, y'all, the ones that let their kids watch Baddies, I would not my life, never in my life let my child watch Baddies. Would not, cannot, no, no, no. She don't need to watch no Baddies, and I don't think none of your kids need to be watching Baddies. I don't think anyone of you adults need to watch Baddies, especially not with the way things are going right now. None of y'all need to be watching. None of y'all need to be watching Baddies, because that's the thing. You're not gonna use the aggression where it need to be used at. Y'all gonna use it on all the wrong motherfuckers. So turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off right now. Also, update to that to the woman that shot at Rihanna's house, Ivana Ortiz. So some video surfaced and it's looking like exactly what I thought it was, mental illness, because it never made sense to me. It just never made sense. Like a random lady has no ties to Rihanna. You know what I mean? And crime usually happens by somebody that you know. Usually, most times, it's somebody that is in your circle some way, shape, or form. Whether it be a small interaction, it's somebody that has interacted with you before. Usually, when something like intimate crimes are committed, right? And so it never made sense to me. I was like, they never said that this lady worked for Rihanna. They never said that, like, even that she had any interactions with her. So I was like, what? How do you? How did you even get her address? First off, how do you even get her address? But okay. But how do you jump to just to attacking her home? You know what I mean? And so the videos that surfaced on Twitter show her basically saying that Rihanna swapped her identity. Rihanna is purposely doing things to attack and antagonize her. And it's very clear that she's going through some sort of mental episode. So that's what it's looking like. There are multiple videos, multiple different clips of her mentioning Rihanna at various different states at different levels of agitation with her. So yeah, it's definitely a mental illness. I can't tell you which one because I'm not a therapist for real, but it's definitely some form of a mental illness, unless it's a giant setup plan for her to have a mental illness. I don't know. I don't trust anybody anymore. Ever since I watched His and Hers, ever since that little plot twist, I'm looking at everybody like, did you set this up so you wouldn't go to jail? Right. I'm just saying. And also, so I'm not I don't put nothing past nobody, but what it's looking like is a mental illness. And so if I hope that I hope she get the help that she needs. That's it. That's all. Cause listen, truthfully, listen, that whole story was just wild to me. It was very wild, and I hope Rihanna and the babies and the kids is okay. But I know she moving. I know that they finna give her the house because after something like that happened, I wouldn't want to stay there either. The juju is all off in the house now because that lady came in with all that craziness for real. So no. But I'm gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. What irritated me this week is Jamal Bryant and the Target situation. So Jamal Bryant earlier in the week, I want to say a couple days ago, he got on here, made a press conference. Tamika Mallory and others joined and said that the Target fast for 40 days was over. Now, if you're confused as to why the Target boycott is ending, the rest of us were too. You're not lost there, babes. All of us were too. Because one, who the fuck made Jamal the king of anything, the activist leader of anything other than that church? Right? He don't speak for me. Not now, not ever. So that was interesting and very, very fucking weird, right? Then it's also confusing because in that same sentence, or statement, should I say, he mentions how nothing has really changed, but he's satisfied with the changes that were not made. Right. Target themselves came out and just doubled themselves back down. That they're pleased to be moving forward and will continue to show up as trusted neighbors while delivering results for our team members, guests, and more than 2,000 communities in which we serve. But as Tamika Mallory stated in her statement, to clarify some things, we'll get to that in a minute, that when speaking to the CEO of Target, he did not really apologize. He won't make a formal, direct public apology to the Black community. And for her, that's a key issue of why she is going to continue her personal boycott. There's also been mentions that the 40-day fast has now been extended to 400 days. I'm really not here to get into that, because here's what I have to say is that none of y'all came up with this movement on your own. Because I see that there are two organizations or two people who created their own movements for a national Target boycott. And let me be very clear. The boycott started organically online. Who were the originators? Black women all across the United States of America. Because when Target made their anti-DEI statements, Black women all over came forward and said, absolutely the fuck not. I will not be shopping there anymore. That's fine with me, for real. And me, no, never mind. Y'all expensive anyway. I've been trying to keep myself out your store for the longest time anyway. And now you can say you don't really want niggas up in there. Cool. I'm out. Right. And then you get the birth of Miss Armstrong's movement of a national boycott. Then you get Miss Turner, who was a former Ohio senator, who enlists the help of Tamika Mallory and Jamal Bryant, and then they come up with this 40-day fast from Target. And then Jamal gets up there after them 40 days and says that it's over for real. And again, it's the mixed messaging. And as I said, I didn't need y'all to even make messaging in the first place. This didn't need to be a national thing. It didn't need to be. It's a movement that didn't need a leader, if that makes sense. Right? Because I don't think, what I'm saying is this. I don't think that there needed to be a leader. There didn't need to be a face of the movement. That's the thing. I didn't need to pinpoint who created the movement, because the movement happened organically. It was a thing that started on social media, and then it grew legs on its own, because everybody was like, yeah, fucking for real. And everyone acted accordingly. I didn't need Tamika. I didn't need, damn sure not Jamal. I didn't need none of y'all to make no organization about it. I didn't need to. So now everybody talking about, oh, you co-opted this. No. And as I said, you did co-opt it. You co-opted it from the original people, which was random people on social media. That's all y'all co-opted it, for real. Since we just let's be honest. But the fact of the matter is, I'll at least side with Miss Armstrong's side of it more so than Tamika and Brian's, because you aligning yourself with motherfuckers who's talking about, oh, it's over now, 40 days, and then you just getting on the time about, well, I'm gonna continue my fast. Y'all's movement not making sense. You don't know what you're doing, for real. It feels very much like exploitation. It just feels that's what it feel like. It feel like y'all signed up for that movement, and because it had more, and I'm not here to discredit Miss Armstrong, but I'm saying that like more known people, because I've never heard of, respectfully, I've never heard of her, right? But more known people and like quote unquote leaders of the Black community or whatever. Target was like, oh, let me talk to them. Let me talk to them for real. And they mainly clearly must talk to Jamal, because even in the press conference, everybody was like, when he said that, they was like, well, actually nothing has been met. And so that's why I said, how do you get on your high horse on your platform and you tell everybody the boycott is over, but also admit that they have not changed anything? So this is another reason why I say, how much money they pay you, Jamal? How much money does that Target CEO offer you, Jamal? Right? Because that's about the only thing that makes sense. Unless you got a brand deal coming out with Target sometime soon, unless you got some, Bibles that they finna start selling for you, or some suits, or some shoes, or some socks, or some belts, or some glasses. I don't know. You got something coming out with them for real? Because it don't make no sense why y'all would. And it don't really make no sense why. I don't even know why Tamika was there, to be honest. Why did you even go? If did you know that he was finna say this? Because that's what it sounds like. Everybody knew what was like, that he was finna say that the fast was over for real, and then y'all was gonna come on there and be like, actually, no, the fast not over. I was just playing for real. I don't know. It's mixed messaging. What made it very clear is that didn't none of y'all show up with him at all, and was gone. So then it looked like he was acting alone. Because now look at what horse you got yourself tied to. Now everybody for all y'all. It's just all unnecessary. Target is going to go the way of Sears. Target is gonna go the way of Kmart, as long as I'm concerned, right? And I'm confident with the good portion of black women. We all feel the same way. Target has to go. It got to die. Just die. It got to. It can't stay. It can't stay. They done made their bed. They done say don't fuck with niggas no more. Cool. You don't fuck with niggas no more. You don't get to stay open no more. And that's what needs to be the standard for real. Ain't time of business. Fall out of line. Niggas ain't got to go to no more. Black folks ain't got to go to no more. Start telling, because that's the only thing. Look at Iran. Look at what Iran doing. They're hitting America in their pocketbook, and America struggling for it. Now, America trying to pretend like she's not struggling for it. America trying to pretend like, oh, we beating them. But their pocketbook is hurting, and that's what I'm saying. These businesses, this corporation, this country don't understand shit but money. And when money go, that's when their ears open the fuck up. They be like, what you say? Huh? And even then, they open it up just enough to see how much they cannot give you to get you to fall in line again. And that's exactly what this is. Target has spent the better part of the last year trying to convince everybody to go back in there. And truthfully, they also trying to convince some white liberals, because them white liberal ladies, they think that black folks not going in there, and they want, and since they want to, they don't want to be yelled at. They want to appear like, I'm down with the cause. They also stopped going in there, because a few times when I was doing DoorDash and I had to walk my ass up in there, I didn't even see that many of them up in there. Don't get me wrong, they were still there, the conservative ones, don't get me wrong, but I didn't see as many as I thought I would see. So I said, oh, this is trickled down for real. Right? So that's also why they did it, because they think that if they get black folks and the Christian authoritarian figures on here to say the fast is over, and black leaders and say that it's over, then it will convince black folks to come back, and also it will convince them white liberals to come back. You ain't convinced me of shit except to continue to go just that much harder, to keep my foot on your neck. I'm not letting up, belt to ass every day consistently, because that's all this is for real. A plot, a psyop to try to get everybody to go back. And Jamal, they used Jamal and Tamika in their movement to do it. They did. Y'all sat there and said y'all talked to him, and you got up there. You didn't even condemn Jamal and what he said. I start calling coon behavior. Because if you can't call coon behavior, well then sometimes, hey. The boycott continues. So much for sitting in my corner with me this week. Let me know what your favorite part of the episode was. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your opinions on the Target situation. Do you think that Jamal was right to end the boycott? Do you think the boycott should end? Do you think that they did co-opt the movement? Do you think that it was originally started by black women? Let me know what you think for real, right? And as always, come back to my corner and see what I got to say.